What's good, RecTech family? I'm Chef Greg. We're going to have a blast talking all things turkey tonight, so appreciate you guys tuning in. Do me a favor, make sure you guys share this feed, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. We got a ton of turkey tips coming at you today. We're going start to finish. I'm going to show you how I'm cooking my turkey for Thanksgiving. And yeah, by the end of this live feed, if you are not a turkey expert, maybe you tuned in a little bit late. But from all of us here at the worldwide headquarters of RecTech, appreciate you joining in this holiday season. It's already here, right? If you maybe got the emails, Black Friday sales are everywhere, and we are no different here at RecTech.com. We got amazing sales on all of the grills, accessories, bundles. I actually sold 2 grills today in our HQ location in Evans. It was fantastic, man. Super excited. Pump it up. Pump it. Devin's like super excited. Yeah, so shout out to those people. We got a Bullseye Deluxe and a Deck Boss. Yeah, it's good sale. All right, so turkey, I guess let's get started. So the only way I'll cook a turkey is spatchcocked. I will never not spatchcock a turkey again. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is like a gigantic bowling ball of turkey, okay? Well, they don't cook super even like this, right? So we're gonna spatchcock it, lay it flat, and kind of expose more heat to the legs and thighs, and leave the breast a little bit more protected so that they cook more evenly. You can be able to shred the meat right off the bone of the leg and thigh, and that breast meat you can slice super thin and delicious. But the first step comes down to buying your turkey, okay? And it might be hard to see, but right here it says contains 4% of a solution of water, salt, and spices. That's a brine, right? Not all brands of turkeys are the same. Not all types of turkeys are the same. In fact, the 2 turkeys that are cooking behind me, they had 8% solution. So this was labeled as a fresh turkey. The other ones were frozen. I also bought a turkey roast earlier this week, and it was a 14% solution. So rule of thumb, the higher the number, the higher the salt, and oftentimes the more tender that's going to be. So a turkey roast is a shaped turkey breast, is probably going to be the most moist, tender version of that, but it's kind of just salt water, right? So for me, I'm going to try to find a bird that has a lower salt content or a lower percentage of solution, like this 4%er. That way I get control all of the goodness, okay? So read your label. Not all things are created equal, okay? And this was actually in the fresh turkey section, and I can tell you by the ice crystals inside, it was not. So I was had. But before you guys get cutting into this, make sure you remove the neck. Now save these, okay? And in fact, I recommend going to the store right now, grabbing turkey necks, turkey wings that are raw, not smoked, and stockpiling those in your freezer. That way, like Monday of Thanksgiving week, go ahead and roast them off. Make your turkey stock earlier that week, and make your gravy like Wednesday or Tuesday. That way you ain't gotta worry about it, right? So chef tip number 1, buy now. I'm talking like get your bird. It's gonna take some time to thaw out. So depending on how big that bird is, it could take 4 to 5 days to thaw out in the fridge. More importantly, it's hard to find things to make your gravy like the necks and the wings, and especially the dry stuff. So if you've got your stuffing mixes, all that stuff that's not gonna go bad, get it now. That way you're not wrestling the people at the store. And Chef John's got a great gravy recipe coming using with the gizzards as well. But again, stock up on that. So we're gonna spatchcock this bird. And this is a beautiful 22-pound turkey. This thing is a gargantuan. This is a big boy, okay? Now this 22-pound bird, people always ask, how many people is this gonna feed? Okay, so about 1.5 pounds per person. Okay, that'll give you enough for leftovers. So if I'm feeding 10 people, I'd want about a 15-pound bird, right? Or bigger. So this bird here being 20-something pounds will easily feed, 10, 12 people with some leftovers. And I'll also poll your crowd too. Most people only eat the white meat. So maybe instead of cooking a big bird like this, buy 2 of the double breasts and just cook that. So we're gonna spatchcock this. So we're actually gonna flip this bird over. Okay, and what we're going to do is we want to cut the backbone out of it. Now you could use shears for this, you could use a knife, but ultimately, if you look, my secret for you on where you need to start cutting is you see there's this little fat sort of node here and there's like little dimples. We're going to cut on either side of that. So what you can do is just take a knife and score the fat, and that's where you're going to cut, just like that. Now you could use shears. I personally like a knife, but It's whatever you like and whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, this bird is still really cold. I would say it's like 90% thawed. So I find it makes it a little easier when they're a little bit frozen. Okay, so now I've cut it about halfway down. And I'm going to flip this around this way. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it right through here again. And this should, oh. Now save this too, because you can cook your stocks with that. See, it's frozen, bro.
I sure got the shears.
Nah, it's okay. But see, not a fresh turkey. So, or what happened, somebody put this in the wrong side of the grocery, like the grocery section. So we're almost cut just like that. So now this bird has been spatchcocked. We're going to take a cut down the breastplate here and just kind of like break it open, just like that. Okay? And what's going to happen is this bird is going to sit, flip this over. Once I cut this fat off of here, call this the last part over the fence. Okay? So this bird is going to sit just like this. There we go.
Do you want that gobbledygook right there, Sam?
Gobbledygook? God, Devin is a turkey aficionado. Devin, we'll get him on camera later. He took our turkey class. So if you're not going to eat this stuff, like, get rid of it. Now, no one's eating that. What's up, Samaj? All right, so get rid of it. So again, you've got that turkey nice and flat. Now this is important. This is the benefit to the spatchcock. You see how much taller the breast is than the leg and thigh? So these are going to cook twice as fast as the breast, and that's what you want, okay? I want this to be as close to 165 as possible, and I want the leg meat to be like 195 and up. That's going to make it like shred off and be super delicious. That's why I will only spatchcock. Plus, this will also fit on that bottom rack. We're talking the Backyard Beast, your flagship XL. That way I can cook all my casseroles up top, all right? So you have a decision. Are you gonna brine or are you gonna inject? You can't really do both, right? So that's where you wanna start. Now we took all of the guessing out of the holidays, right? You're already thinking what's on the list for, you know, to buy for so-and-so. You know, we've got your brine. So if you're going to inject, pretty simple. You'll mix a half a cup of the poultry injection with 2 cups of water, mix it up and inject. Now, probably you'll need about 2 batches of that for this bird because this thing is huge. Or you can grab that Holiday Celebrations poultry brine and 2 gallons of water, everybody in the pool. That's it. So maybe you got a small bird. You can use 1 cup of this with 1 gallon. Maybe you're cooking a couple Cornish game hens. You could use a quarter of the bottle with 2 quarts, right? But essentially this whole bottle is 2 cups of volume. That'll yield you 2 gallons of finished brine. Normally what I'll do is boil about 1 gallon of water, dump this in there, let it steep for a little bit, and then add about 1 gallon of ice. And that way I get 2 gallons of volume. We'll mix this up. Now, you're never going to dissolve the herbs and spices and the onion and the garlic that's in here. That's fine, right? The sugar and salt will dissolve. And then all you got to do is brine your bird for right about an hour a pound. So this bird right here being 20 pounds, an overnight brine would be perfect, okay? Set it in a nice cool refrigerator, let it go. Now, if you don't have a fridge big enough for a container like this, no big deal. You can grab one of those brining bags. Put the turkey in the brining bag in a Rectech cooler. Go ahead and surround it with ice, and that way you're good to go. Now we're going to take this in here. And we're going to put this bird in the brine. Just like that. And we're going to leave it alone for 24 hours. That's it. Okay? And you can see what's happening now is the brine is super delicious. I mean, we've got fresh herbs, garlic, onion, all your savory spices that you use around the holidays. What that's doing is the turkey is kind of giving the brine its liquid and then sucking in all of this amazing flavor with the garlic, the onion, the herbs, the sugar, and the salt. It's going to be absolutely delicious, but you want to let this rest for like, 20 hours, 24 hours for a bigger bird. A smaller bird you can do for 12 hours, but ultimately this is going to be absolutely perfect overnight. Okay, so make your brine on Tuesday, brine Tuesday night into Wednesday. That way Wednesday you can take it out, dry it off, and start the seasoning process. And once again, we really make it simple. All right, the holiday celebrations poultry rub is a home run. Now, you guys see us cook all the time. You see the delicious food that we do, but some people you don't see behind the camera that helps us along have questions. So our main man, Devin, we give him a hard time every now and then. Devin, come on over. We need to have a talk. Man. We need to have a serious conversation.
Have a talk,
so, for those of you that don't know Devin, Devin helps us with the social media around here.
Yep.
Devin is kind of like not a
novice.
I was gonna say not a great cook.
Oh,
right? But you're learning, right? Okay. You're eager.
I can cook. I'm a novice at the grill.
I love it, right? So Devin approached me the other day. He said, "Chef, I've got Friendsgiving, and nobody wanted the turkey. So being the kind of guy you are, you signed up for the turkey."
I did.
Yes.
They was only making ham.
Yeah.
I needed more meat than
so.
that.
Tell the people how you have felt about turkey before you started working here.
Turkey's dry. Can you see me? Turkey is dry. I hate it. I hate it 32 years. I don't like it. I gotta pour it with gravy, hot sauce, pepper.
So you've never had a really good turkey?
Not until I started working here.
Yeah. So Devin approached me and said, "Look, I need to make turkey." I said, "We got you." Right?
Yeah.
So Friday, we filmed all day long.
We did.
About 5 o'clock,
Yep.
you spatchcocked your very first turkey.
I was nervous.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
You did a really good job. A little room for improvement, but that's what Thanksgiving is for. Practice now, right? So
Yeah.
Devin brined the bird just like we are now.
Sure did.
Okay.
For I want to say 15 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, because I put it on at 5, and then I took it out around 11. No, don't do my math. But I did it overnight.
Yeah, it was about 11 o'clock, okay?
Yeah.
You had to be in Atlanta at 6.
Yes.
Okay.
Traffic, too.
So here's what happened. So Devin brined his bird.
Yep.
He seasoned it, right? He cooked it on the Rectech.
Yep.
You hit the gym.
Ooh.
Devin put his meat probes in the grill.
Yeah.
He set alarms. Now you need to get that app.
I got that app.
You need to get that XP up a little bit.
Oh,
you're
I'm
kind
in
of
my last place.
down the list.
Oh no, I'm definitely in last place.
So Devin set alarms in his app, right? He was at the gym. He knew he needed to be home. That turkey cooked for 2 hours and 45 minutes, 165 degrees.
The breast, yes.
Amazing. Devin took it off, put it in a large resting box, drove to Atlanta, which is about 2 hours, 20 minutes from here.
I went to Marietta, so yeah.
Okay, so 2 hours, 20 minutes, opened it up, and I'm gonna throw your friends under the bus here. They didn't think Devin cooked the turkey.
They were talking, ooh-wee.
Yeah. But how hard was it? You followed the steps.
It wasn't that hard, but as soon as I pulled it out, they all said, wow, I can't believe you made that.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, so
them wrong.
now you've had Devin's story, and it's really that simple. Like, don't overcomplicate it, okay? Like, just have fun with it. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be delicious. Just, if you have questions, ask. That's what we're here for. If you have any questions, let us know. Comment down below. Shout out Facebook and YouTube. If you have any questions, let us know. If you want to hit the chat and see what's going on?
I'm going to read those questions.
Perfect. So over here, TaylorMade, come on. Let's show the people we got going on. So since we're cooking 2 turkeys in here, I am using those Rectech wireless meat probes. I'm monitoring the app on my phone. So we're cooking on the XL right now, that flagship XL. We are at 325 degrees. We are burning those Rectech Ultimate Blend pellets. Now to give you sort of a timeline of things, we put that whole bird, now these are 21-pound birds, we put that whole one on at 3 o'clock. It's right about 3 1/4 hours. We put the spatchcocked one on at 4 o'clock, so just over 2 hours, okay? And again, if you don't have the wireless meat probes or wired probes, get you an instant read, and that way you can take a temperature of the breast. We're right about 150 or so, climbing on up. Right about 150 in the spatchcock. We couldn't have planned that any better. So here's what I'm saying. This whole bird is gonna take a lot longer than that spatchcock. It's about an hour longer, and we are about 10 degrees away from delicious. Devin, what you got for him, buddy?
Okay, so Douglas asked, hi, Chef. I have a frozen bone-in turkey breast that have 19% broth, salt, and sugar solution. Do you recommend not brining or injecting them?
I definitely wouldn't inject. I would still brine that bird because all you're getting in there is sugar and salt. You're missing out on the garlic, the onion, the savoriness of this. So what you could do is modify that, right? So knowing you have a bird that's got sort of a higher salt content, maybe use a lower ratio of this for that same duration. And this is a great tip too for especially if you're cooking things like smoked corned beef, right? You got to leach some of that salt out of it. And this would be no different too. You can use a lower concentration of that brine and then pull some of that salt out of there and add a lot more flavor on there. But again, always a great addition to brine. I think brining is going to be more subtle, right? Softer flavors, not as intense. Whereas injecting is going to give you a higher concentration of flavor and definitely a little bit more of a punch to it. It just depends on what you want. Or it's just like if you're a firm pillow kind of person or you're a plush, right?
Which turkey moisture holds the best? Whole bird or spatchcock?
So moisture content, no difference. For me, I find a spatchcock yields a juicier bird. It does cook quicker, so it's not more apt to dry out because you got to think, you got to get the inside of that up to 165 degrees. Okay, so to do that, you got to dry out the outside. So for me, I find that cooking a spatchcock is definitely more even for the moisture, and especially on the leg meat. Sometimes you get the pockets in the back of the thigh that are almost raw when you cook it whole, when the breast is done, and when you spatchcock it, 100% eliminates that as a variable. Other question?
Got another
Let's
good
go.
one.
Come on.
Can
We're here
you
all
cook,
day.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. We're here
Can
for it.
you cook a smaller 8-pound bird on the 340?
100%. You can fit probably 2 8-pound turkeys on there, even spatchcock. So the 340 is going to be one of our smaller grills. You can definitely do that. The biggest difference you got to be careful with when you're cooking on a 410 or a 340 is headspace. So if you're cooking like a 22-pound bird whole, it's probably not going to fit. You can definitely spatchcock a 16-pound turkey, not a problem. Fit a couple smaller ones on there, or even a couple of the double breasts would be a great opportunity for a 340 or a 410. Especially if you're camping and traveling, doesn't mean you can't have a perfect Thanksgiving on the road. So that Road Warrior is a great travel companion to make sure that you've got Thanksgiving on the road. We ended up going to what was it now? The Polar Express. We were just outside of, I think it was Boone a couple years ago. We had the 340 with us, and we cooked an entire Thanksgiving meal on that. It was really good. Yeah, good times. What else you got, Devin?
What I'm gonna give you a two-parter. What pellets are you using? And here's a good one. I have a 21-pound turkey.
Okay.
Can I put it on my BFG at 350? I'm putting ham insides on at 350 as also.
Absolutely. So we're burning the ultimate blend pellets right now, that the perfect balance of red oak, white oak, and hickory. In regards to cooking your turkeys at 350, there's definitely not a problem with that. It's going to cook a little bit quicker. So on average at 325, I find for me is the perfect temperature. I get maximum flavor. It's not too hot, but it's also hot enough that I'm going to get good, crispy, golden brown skin. So at 325 degrees, a spatchcock bird is going to be about 8 to 9 minutes a pound. So maybe shed a minute or so off per pound cooking spatchcock on at 350. Yep, but internal temp will be key. So whether you're using the wired meat probes, wireless meat probes, or an instant read thermometer, ultimately you want to check a couple places just to make sure. And that's why an instant read is a great way. Because think of your wired meat probes and your wireless meat probes. It's like GPS for your car. It's going to get you really close, right? But it's only taking one temperature. So to get in there and kind of poke around and just make sure the deepest parts of that breast meat, good to go.
You want to keep them going, or you want to?
No, keep it, dude.
Okay.
We're here to answer the questions. If you have questions, it doesn't matter. We're talking turkey, right? And we're gonna pull these off in a little bit, but we're here for you guys, right? So whether you're giving us a call and talking to our world-class customer service at 706-922-0890, or joining us on any of these feeds, let us know. We get any questions from YouTube, Josh?
Well, what's your take on stuffing?
Hold on. Let me go through the.
Yeah.
I got YouTube right here.
You got YouTube.
My favorite stuffing recipe, and I cook it all the time. You can poll the staff. The sage, sausage, dressing, stuffing on the website. That is the world's greatest stuffing dressing recipe ever. I could literally eat that 365, 24/7. I even take it left over, put it in a waffle iron, and use that to make like an open-faced sandwich. Absolutely. So Charles saying there's sweet potato casserole. Chris C, let's go. Appreciate you joining in. The best way to cook and reheat, this is a great question. So some people are asking about how to reheat turkey because they can't cook it day of. So for me, I'm gonna cook the whole bird. I'm gonna let it cool down. I'm gonna cut the breast off in its entirety. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it up tight in plastic wrap. The next day, I'm gonna slice it nice and thin, put it in a baking dish. I'm gonna take my hot gravy and I'm gonna pour my hot gravy about the bottom third of the container. I'm gonna wrap it in plastic wrap. I'm gonna go back on the grill at 325. Yes, I'm gonna wrap the top of my pan in plastic wrap. It's not gonna melt. I'm gonna go 325 until it's warm, about 30 minutes. And that's why you wanna use that hot gravy. It'll help kind of retherm that turkey and be really good. If you don't wanna use gravy, a little bit of turkey stock in the bottom of that pan, just make sure it's hot before it goes over the turkey. It'll help warm it up nice and thick. Yo Pops FPV, howdy buddy, appreciate you guys tuning in. We're not brining it. Yes, we are brining it, we just brined it. Brine or inject, it depends. I do both, but this year I'm gonna brine a bird. Last year we injected, year before that we brined. I kind of alternate, it kind of just depends. HH is asking if they can wrap it and rest it like a brisket. Wrapping it like a brisket, I would not in that sense. Now, Devin did take his bird on a journey in the large resting box, and we'll show you how those fit later on. Just keep in mind, if you wrap it in its entirety, you're gonna create a lot of steam. The steam is gonna create soggy skin. So there is that trade-off. But if you're driving a couple hours to Atlanta and want to keep it warm, these large resting boxes will be fantastic for that. It's not gonna overcook, right? So pull that bird off right in the low 160s and let it carry over cook. It'll definitely be plenty safe. And ultimately, the longer you let it rest, the better, because let all of that juice kind of relax back into the meat. You'd be surprised how much more moist something is, especially if you let it rest. Great question. So Brian Pauly's asking, on average, how long do you cook the turkey per pound at 325? If I'm spatchcocked, I'm about 8 minutes a pound. And if it's whole, it's anywhere from like 12 to 14 minutes a pound. But if you see any reference out there that says you cook something 20 to 25 minutes a pound, man, you got some dry turkey right there. But internal temp is gonna be key, right? So get a probe in there, whether it's a wireless meat probe or a wired probe, check in on your bird every now and then, pull it off in the low 160s, and it will be perfect. Yo Pops FPV, absolutely. Anything over 325 is good to go. 325, 350 is fantastic. I wouldn't cook any hotter than that because it's just gonna cook too quick, right? And then, how would you make a turkey on the Bullseye Deluxe? Ben Roberts, fantastic question for all of our Bullseye brethren out there. Now, as the Bullseye is a more direct cooker, I would definitely put a foil pan on the bottom of that grill to kind of catch some of those drippings. And speaking of those foil pans, they're on sale right now, at least 15% off at rectech.com with all of our bundles and accessories on sale right now for Black Friday. It's a great time to add some stuff in your cart for stocking stuffers. You know, get yourself a gift because everybody wants a wireless meat probes. Add a bunch of stuff in there and throw it on the cart.
Greg, would you add any liquid to that pan?
I would, yeah, you add a little water. You could add, you know, some beer if you want. I wouldn't add any fat, so like no butter, but you could definitely add some moisture in there. Queen's Dipped said, sorry they're joining in late. What's the cooking time for full bird not doing spatchcock? We're going 325. Just for reference, this bird right here was 21 and a half pounds. We are approaching its done temperature, and we'll take a temp here real quick just to show you guys. But we put this on at 3 o'clock. This is right about 3.5 hours, and we are almost at 160. So right about 3 3/4 hours for that one there. And then this spatchcock is almost done. We'll pull it off in just a little bit. We're like 6 degrees from being done. And my target was for us to slice these birds at 6:45. Now we're not gonna let them rest, right? But we're right on target to get those done. So I couldn't be any happier with one, how they look. Just keep in mind your spatchcock bird will cook right about 8 to 9 minutes a pound at 325. And then a whole bird will be right about 12 to 14 minutes a pound.
Big old owl.
Big owl?
Yeah.
Man, he's hungry. What can I say?
Somebody's asked, a couple people are asking, what's a good sized bird for the Bullseye?
Yep, so spatchcock, you can fit as big as they got, right? You can fit a 24 pounder in their spatchcock, and I would definitely recommend spatchcocking bird, whether you're cooking on a Bullseye or not. They cook so much more even, and you'll see when we pull the meat off these the legs and thighs. Unbelievable. Another good question here coming in from YouTube. Jen Grinnell is asking, do you spray the turkey with anything while you're cooking with? Fantastic question. Fantastic. So we call this the yellow bottle in barbecue, right? I can't tell you what it is, right? But it's not what I'm not going to say it is. So every now and then, if your skin's looking like a little dry, grab a little bit of this and just kind of like give it some love. You can use your favorite olive oil cooking spray. You could use duck fat, right? But a little mist, it's all you need. Now, if those don't look like the most perfectly roasted turkeys for the holidays, I don't know what is. Devin, did your turkey look that good on Saturday?
Oh, I have photos to show.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm proud of you. Devin cooked his first turkey on Saturday. I feel like it's like a proud dad moment right now. Another good question coming in. Also, what do you recommend for Thanksgiving dinner as a side for people who don't eat turkey? I'm doing prime rib as well. Do you think bone in or bone out is better? What time and temp? First of all, what time is dinner? And I'm invited. I love prime rib. For me, there's two schools of thought you can do with that prime rib, and it depends if you're cooking anything else. So prime rib, you can do low and slow at 225 and smoke it all the way to an internal about 128. Let it rest. It'll be the perfect medium rare. Or you can roast it at a higher temperature, say 350, 375. It's going to take shorter time period. I'm not a fan of starting at 500 and then dropping the grill down. I want to cook all the way at one temperature. So if you want more of a softer texture, maybe less crust on the outside, 225, depending on how large that prime rib is, it could take 3.5 hours. Again, internal temp is going to be key. Pull it off at about 128, it'll rise up to about 133, which is the perfect internal temperature for a medium rare prime rib. It'll take significantly less time at say 350, give you more of a roasted exterior versus a smoked, but both of which would be delicious. Don't sleep on ham, right? Especially a fresh ham. We're going to be cooking a fresh ham tomorrow. But even a store-bought spiral ham, you can elevate that flavor. My favorite secret for that is grabbing a bottle of the Harry's Secret Sweet Sauce. I mix that 50-50. I buy a can of peach pie filling. I chop the peaches up. I mix that together, and that's what I glaze my ham with. Bro, it's delicious, right?
I got a super interesting
all
question.
right, let's go.
Okay. Would I be okay to start my turkey on low for the first hour?
Yeah.
Or two to get more smoke flavor and then crank up after the first hour or two?
It's a great
That's
question.
from Russ.
Great question, Russ. I'm not a fan of having to work too hard, right? So if I got to remember to set timers and like increase temperatures, I'm really not going to do that. I've found getting crispy skin is a little bit more challenging when cooking at a lower temperature. And even if you raise it up towards the end, sometimes it doesn't get overly crispy because it's not going to render out. But if you did that and that worked for you and your family liked it, then continue to repeat that process. But for me, I don't cook my chicken wings 0 to 400, okay? I'm not gonna cook a turkey at 200 to 225. I'm gonna tend to roast it at 325 or 350 because that's what my family likes. But if you did that the other day and that's what your family likes, man, party on. You do you, right? Ralph the baker in the house.
Bro.
Hey, Ralph, you got...
What's up, Ralph?
Give it up for Ralph.
Ralph, you got any butter? I only got what I can't believe it's not. So appreciate you tuning in, Ralph. Yeah, Jen Grinnell says, thank you, and I can't believe it's not. It's not. But this is honestly, like, you poll all of the, like, famous pitmasters, this stuff right here and aerosol duck fat, like, it's in everybody's pantry. So just because you can't believe it doesn't mean it doesn't work. Any good questions coming in from Facebook?
All
right, well, I'm going to go on. Oop, I closed that one. I need your face there. I closed it by accident. So a couple of other my turkey tips this holiday. If you're going to brine or inject, we got your poultry injection right now. And again, all this stuff is 15% off. You got time to order now and get before the holidays. But maybe you purchased that rub and sauce bundle and you got it sitting in your pantry. My 1-2 punch for poultry, 4-letter rub and Colton's Freaking Greek. This stuff right here is fantastic for all of your turkey, all of your side dishes. Everything is going to be absolutely amazing with that. Other than that, cotton gloves, right? This right here is going to elevate your barbecue XP, right? Because sometimes people are like, man, I don't know how you can grab that stuff out of the grill. I'm not stupid, right? Some of those cotton gloves under your nitriles.
Oh yeah.
That's where you want to be.
That's game changer.
Right? This will level up your XP. Because now I can go over here and I can grab this bird out of here. And I'm going to show you the difference on these legs and thighs, Taylor. Because this spatchcock should be pretty close. Okay, now again, we've got them on the wireless meat probe as well, but we're right about 190 in the leg and thigh, and we say probe tender, like this is it. If I go into the deepest part of the breast, we're right about 156. We're getting really close. We'll pull this off. And again, we'll be able to shred that meat off of here. And if I go into this one here, we're about 156. And the same thing on the leg and thigh, we're about 174. So again, I've got a 30-degree difference between the breast meat here, but I'm not overcooking the leg and thigh in a good way. So, and then another thing to consider, if you're spatchcocking, and let's say you're done, all you have to do is now you can remove your leg and thigh and let your breast cook. How easy was that? It's only fat that holds it together. So if your turkey breast is still cooking, you can pull your leg and thigh off, and you can't tell me that doesn't look delicious.
That looks
It
amazing.
smells amazing, super delicious. And again, on the app, you can have your wireless meat probes. Here's another fun fact for your wireless meat probes. Let's say you're going to an event, or you're gonna bring your food inside. What I can do is, I can put my turkey in the large resting box, or I can close this. I can take my docking station, I can go inside, and I can watch my turkey cool down, or I can see how hot it is. So whether I'm cooking a pork butt, a brisket, and I'm resting for a long time, I can have my probes travel with my food in the house, and I can make sure I can watch the temps kind of cool down, and I don't have to worry about, trying to guess, is it ready to slice, is it ready to pick, or is it still hot? So another great opportunity to utilize those wireless meat probes sort of outside of the grill and watch your food cool down appropriately.
Hey, shout out to Trey Palmer. Just got my first pellet grill.
Okay.
The wife surprised me with a Deck Boss, and I love this
go.
thing.
Let's
I'm
go.
also a
Let's
local
go.
to Augusta area.
Appreciate you joining the RecTech family. What a great wife.
That's a W.
But
wife.
here's the thing though, smart woman, because now she knows that he's gonna cook and she's eating good, right? No more dry food in that household, because there's no excuse. You're cooking on a RecTech. That is the,
Not this Thanksgiving.
not this Thanksgiving.
How long do you let it rest? How long?
This can rest in here for easily 45 minutes to an hour. It's still gonna be nice and hot. And the beauty of it is I can track it on my wireless meat probe and I can watch that come down. Now we pull these off at 196, okay? And I can watch on the app and watch those cool down. Be perfect. Ralph Chin is asking, any thoughts on frog style? So frog style is really no different than spatchcocking, but instead of opening it from the back, you're basically cutting in between the breast and the legs and opening it out like that. We did some frog style chickens a while back, but ultimately it's accomplishing the same thing. It's exposing the leg and thigh to a little bit more heat and kind of protecting the breast. Looks good.
People were saying that they didn't know we sold this, and they are looking in the store. Do we have it in the store because they've never seen it?
100%, yeah. We've got the large and the small. Now, we can also do this because I have everything in here. It comes with a divider. So let's say I am cooking many things. I can take my turkey down below, right? Wrap it with aluminum foil, take the divider, and put a second pan on the top.
Oh, snap.
Or I could have 4 half pans in here, would be no different. And there's also a small one too, so maybe you're not doing as much stuff. We've got one that's half the size that'll fit 2 foil pans as well.
I could have made the ham too.
You could have.
You could have, but you didn't.
I didn't ask.
Well, that's a lot. Now, we also have those foil pans. You get it full size and half size right there, right? Can you see the logo in there? Swanky. I love it. All right, we're going to put this back together and let these cool down. But great questions. Keep them coming. We are here for you guys. Oops, see, let me put this back in. Let us know. But these are the large resting boxes available at rectech.com. We also have the half size. They've got some really easy carrying handles. Plus, you got pockets all over if you want to take extra rub and brine with you, right? You can take that stuff with you.
Or sauce.
Yep, there's also stuff on the side if you want to put a thermometer. You can hang those right there, okay? But large resting boxes available at rectech.com, and then we've got small ones as well. I will say, game changer, right? If you're resting briskets, if you're resting pork butts, if you're taking food with you, like absolute game changer. Shout out to all of our friends that were cooking in the Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic last weekend. It was a little chilly. A lot of the barbecue teams were using the half-size ones for their turn-in boxes. Shout out. JB Rose is giving Ralph the Baker some love out there. Roger is asking, is the turkey going to continue to rise up in temperature after moving from the grill like prime rib? Absolutely, yeah. You can definitely experience about a 5-6 degree carryover cook once it's removed from the grill, and that's no different than really anything, whether it's brisket, ribs, or a steak. It's going to continue to cook when you remove it from the grill. HH, we're cooking on the flagship XL today. We needed a lot of room, so we could easily have cooked another turkey over here or sides. But we've got a 21-pound whole bird. We've got a 21-pound that we spatchcocked. We did pull those legs off. Again, we're burning the ultimate blend pellets right now, that red oak, white oak, and hickory. With that second shelf up there, I could easily fit 3 spatchcocked turkeys down below and 6 9x13 casserole dishes up top. So plenty of food. Ralph, you know that box is awesome. Devin, any questions from the...
Yeah, Megan asked, would you mention again how long per pound to cook the whole bird?
Yep, so a whole bird at 325, you're looking about 12 to 13, 14 minutes a pound. Spatchcocked is about 8. So it is about 6 minutes a pound faster to spatchcock it. And again, to give it reference, the whole bird we put on at 3 o'clock, so it's been cooking right about 3.5 hours, and it's just about to come off. And then the spatchcock we put on just after 4 o'clock, it was actually 4:15, so that's been cooking for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And see, I talked too much and forgot to put my other glove on to pull this off. So you could. See, I caught myself. Good job, Taylor. It's after hours. We've already worked all day. We've been here since like 8 o'clock this morning, burning the midnight oil. So, now again, those cotton gloves are great because I can come up here. Look at that. That's a good looking bird right there. And again, if we were ready to pull this off, I could easily take our whole bird, put it in the pan.
Look at all that.
And we let it rest. Yeah, look at. It's not a dry bird, bro.
It's definitely not.
No, but that's gonna stay hot just like that. And it's got magnets to keep it closed. I love it. But again, on the app, I can monitor my meat probes and take them with me, and then monitor as it cools down. Couldn't be any easier. Oh, I lost the YouTube comments on that one. If you guys want to bring that one back up. All right, so to slice the bird, we want to let it rest. Okay, this thing is hotter than the surface of the sun. Now we did inject this bird along with the hot one, or the whole one as well. Devin, what you got for me?
Okay, this is a question for me.
Okay.
This is where I messed up at. Now I got all the compliments on the bird.
But you couldn't carve it.
Oh, destroyed it.
Okay. But did it taste good?
Amazing.
Okay.
But
that's
100% destroyed the
That's
carving
fine.
in the bird.
That's okay. So we'll let this rest a little bit. Again, this is really hot. We'll let it rest for about 10 minutes or so.
So how do you carve the bird?
I'm going to show you.
Okay, I'm excited about this part.
Yes, if you're cooking on an SOB, like, you're not going to have turkey like this. So I'm not going to mention any names. But here's what I love about the dark meat, right? If you wanted to give someone a drumstick, yes, you can cook it. But see that beautiful meat right there? So here's what I love cooking at spatchcock, because I can take all of that meat and it just pulls right off the bone. Man. It makes it so much easier to eat. Devin's rolling up his sleeves because he loves him some turkey.
I do know.
Okay. So now you can take this and pull all that dark meat off, and it just shreds. Now that skin, bro, that's the chef's right there.
That's what I served at Friendsgiving, shredded turkey.
Well, because you couldn't slice the breast?
I couldn't slice anything.
That's funny. But you can see how nice and moist and juicy that is. Perfectly cooked. Now we took this up to 190 degrees. Now that's not dry, all right? But I like to kind of pull the turkey off, especially the tendons and stuff, and that way it's just easier to eat. Because then only 2 people get the drumstick, all right? So I tend to take my dark meat just like that. I'm gonna grab our other one. Can we get like Crispicam? Hold on a second.
That was it. Wow.
Can you hear that? Yeah. Bro, I'm a happy fat kid right now. It's so good.
That's
now we
Devin's
just
right
need,
there.
do what?
That's Devin's.
Bro, like.
That is my favorite part. They told me to take the leg because I
you
brought
hear
the
it?
turkey. I brought it.
That's my best part about turkey, is the skin. Hands down. If I could literally just eat skin. Now we season this with that holiday celebrations poultry. I love it. I got a whole other piece right here. Don't worry.
I know you. So can you let the people know that they can rewatch this when you're done?
Yeah, so this feed will not go away. The live streams on Facebook and YouTube are up in perpetuity. We're going to pull all the meat off of the leg and thigh here. And again, we cook this to an internal of 195 degrees, and this meat is just shredding off of the bone. Bro, that turkey skin, absolutely fire.
Is it? I
Dude,
wanna know.
so good. Yeah, no, you're not going to know because you're going to wait. Okay? But again, I take the leg and thigh meat, and I just kind of shred it. And it's going to stay warm for a while, and I kind of put my legs up like that. I'm going to hide my skin. What's up, boys? I'm going to hide my skin right there. Devin can't have it. So when I go to carve a bird, I take the wings off. And here's my secret. I cut, obviously I got two breasts in the breastplate. I go on either side of the breastplate, all the way down. And then I come down the wing, just like that. Don't want to cut into the wing. And then cut into the breast. And I remove the breast off in one piece, just like that. You can see how juicy that is. Like it, look at that.
Wow.
It's raining turkey. Now again, if you let this rest, it's gonna not do that as much, but that's a good thing. You can see how moist and juicy that is. Now for the carcass meat, I just get in here and I pull this off. And this is the stuff that the kids eat because you don't really have to like, it's so soft. This is the turkey tenderloins. You can pull all the meat off that carcass, right? And then whoever's on soup duty, good luck trying to find the rest of the meat on here, okay? So I just kind of get in there and pull the breast meat off, just like that. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so now I've got our breast meat. And then we're gonna slice right here. And it's much easier to slice the turkey after it's been removed from the breast. Look at that. If that's not the most moist, juicy, delicious turkey, yeah.
I'm about to watch this live again.
Yeah. Comment down below, let us know. And this way the skin, every bite gets a nice piece of skin to it.
Sharp knife.
Trained professionals. We got knives at rectech.com, don't worry. And if you wanted to, you could even rebuild the turkey so that it looks like a turkey again. I'll show you how to do that. So again, right here, we're going to slice. But this took 2 hours and 15 minutes to cook. This was a 21-pound turkey.
I think Samaj is
This, well, Samaj is the man, right? So if your family wants to see a whole bird, that's fine. What I would then do is just kind of build it back.
Question from Jen. Do you put the poultry rub on or under the skin after brining is complete?
So this one I put on the top. Since I've already got the seasoning, now imagine this is your platter, not a cutting board. This is how I would go to the table, just like that. I've got my wingtips, my sliced breast meat, my drumsticks, and then my dark meat right there. That's what I would do, right? Obviously the platter would be a little bit nicer looking than this. Put a bunch of herbs or some cranberries or something. You know, I make food taste good. I'm not worried about what it looks like on a platter, right? But this right there is where it's at.
Nobody will care when it tastes
Yeah.
good.
So, Carl said cutting the legs off while the breast cooks attempts is genius. Carl, that's why you tune into these live streams, because you never know what you're going to learn. And the fact that we spatchcocked it, the only thing that was attaching the leg and thigh from the breast was a thin piece of skin. That's what we're here for, right? We're dropping knowledge, right? Spring Tooth Drag says crunchy. That skin was delicious. What temp for the breast? We pulled it off 158. Okay, it's not raw. Okay, I do undercook my poultry just a little bit, but the government says 165. So 165, 158. Turkey salad. You need that. Ralph, come visit us here, man. Ralph, I would love to cook with you. Anytime you want to come cook with us, come join us. Would you recommend brining a butterball? Carl, I'm not going to mention names or brands of turkeys, but this might have been a buttered one that was shaped like a ball, and I still brined it. Okay? Just read between the lines. Yo Pops, it's Godzilla Bird. Yeah. Any comments from Facebook or questions?
Yeah, Jeff Nichols wants to know if you can go over everything really quick.
100%. So we brined our bird. Right here. Okay, so to do that was pretty simple. We took 2 gallons of water and our poultry brine. We mixed them together. I'm going to brine that bird about 1 pound an hour. That bird was 21 pounds. I'll go 24 hours. I'm brining my bird Tuesday night to Wednesday. That way I can get ready for it. After that, take it out of the brine, dry it off. I seasoned these with the holiday celebrations poultry rub. We went 325. We cooked on the Flagship XL, but we went 325. A spatchcock bird is going to take right about 8 to 9 minutes a pound. A whole bird is going to take about 12 to 13 minutes a pound. You're looking for an internal temperature 165 in the breast. And ultimately, if you can get the dark meat above 190, 195, you're going to hit a home run. Okay? Keep in mind, a whole bird is going to be a little bit more of a drier texture to the breast, just how it's going to cook. So I always recommend spatchcocking, whether it's a chicken or a turkey. We've yet to cook an ostrich or an emu. Maybe it'll happen, but I'm sure we'll spatchcock that one too. 325 is the perfect temperature for me. That's what this was cooked at, 325. It's hot enough that it's going to render the skin and get nice and crispy, but yet low enough that you're going to get good roasted texture to the meat as well. Let it rest for about 30 minutes or so. Now again, we cut this hot. You know, we do have to go home at some point tonight, but we did cut this one. We let it rest for just a couple minutes, but it's going to be delicious. Still super moist, delicious, amazing. But the flavor on that, man, like, so good. Roger, any other questions? Comment down below, let us know. Mr. Dub6, no, I did not remove the legs before cooking, but the leg and thigh, I was just showing the people out there, was at 195. So if you ever get in a situation where the breast meat is not cooking as quick as the leg and thigh, you can cut them off. Essentially, there's only a piece of skin that's connecting the two, so I just lifted it up, cut it off with a knife, took it off. You could cook them separately if you want, but we didn't for this time. Good question, though.
My turkey only says it's pre-brine. Should I soak it before seasoning?
I would absolutely still brine it. HH is asking about the wireless meat probes. Can we talk about that and the box? So we were using the wireless meat probes today. So now these are dirty, so I'm not going to put them back in there. But that's what these probes are going to look like. He also has a question about the box. But you have 4 meat probes with this. It utilizes a Wi-Fi connection, so I can use this box anywhere I've got Wi-Fi signal, which is really cool. So maybe your grill's outside, but you want to bring your food in and monitor the temp on the resting box. You can bring the box inside with your food and monitor the temperature. So I'll give you an example of that. Maybe you're cooking a brisket. I would then put my brisket in here to rest, bring the box and the brisket inside. Obviously, I'm not bringing my grill inside, and once I turn the grill off, I'm going to lose the wired meat probe information. That's why those wireless ones right there are really good for that. And then the large resting box. Woo! Chow, please.
Okay. Here's a question from me. So I actually put the tinfoil on top of that. Was I not supposed to do that?
No, I shouldn't have any foil out here. But the skin's still crispy. And hot. Oh man, it's so good. But that's my favorite part about Thanksgiving.
Turkey?
The skin.
No, the skin.
Oh. Okay. You didn't say that on the video.
I did.
Oh.
But again, these large resting boxes have magnetic closers. They're also available in small, which is half size. You can fit 2 large foil pans or 4 half pans in here. You could also fit 2 half size in that, but that's perfect size for that, especially if you're going to take this on the road. Now, Devin was cooking a Friendsgiving in Atlanta.
Yep.
cooked his bird here in Augusta, and then took this with you, and you
did.
cooked the best turkey you've ever cooked, ever.
Ever.
What was also the first turkey you've ever cooked?
Ever.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Dub6 asks, why the ultimate blend and not more of a fruity mix for poultry? Honestly, it's because what we had in the grill, it's what we brought up here, but you could use the cherry or the apple, that's up to you. This is the small resting box. It does come with a divider in here, so you can put your half-size pans in there as well. But a great opportunity if you're resting a couple pork butts in here, or if you do a lot of casserole cooking, you can fit 2 9x13 casserole dishes in there. But all of this stuff is available at rectech.com. This is 15% off right now. So guys, ready? Perfect.
Nice catch.
Yeah. Oh, I lost the feed. Let me see here. Go back out. There we go. Resting box is most triumphant. You know it is. Cool. Any other questions from the Facebook land?
Will this still have a smoke flavor cooking in a shorter time and a higher temp?
Absolutely. So you can see the pinking, well, minus the probe hole there, but see the pinking of the meat? You're still going to get good smoke flavor in that piece of meat. But for me, like, the texture on this is like so good. I love it. They're jealous over there because
I
I'm eating
am.
it. Yeah,
We
it's okay.
all are.
You'll eat at some point. You'll eat.
All the employees out here looking at you. We want some of that.
That's fine. Any other questions, Devin, before we close it up here?
Yes. What, besides the skin,
Okay.
what is your favorite thing about Thanksgiving?
Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to family-tize it. So my mother-in-law is the most hysterical person when it comes to cooking in a kitchen. Like, every year, every family gathering, she makes Jell-O, and like, I'm not talking like just Jell-O, but like these layered Jell-O contraptions. And every year there's a story because they never really work, but she makes the most incredible, like, sweet potato casserole. She like doubles the marshmallows and it melts in this like river of goodness. So shout out Jody, you make amazing sweet potatoes. It's delicious. But honestly, I love everybody in the kitchen. I love the laughter, the camaraderie, the stories, the memories. That's my favorite part about Thanksgiving. I used to cook in restaurants and clubs, and I never got to enjoy that around the holidays. So for me, that's my favorite part about Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter how good the meal is. Like, I know the turkey's going to be delicious. I'm on the hook for turkey, the sage, sausage dressing, and gravy. That's pretty much what I mow down on. But for me, my favorite part about Thanksgiving is the family, like, without question. Yeah, that's your sappy story.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. If you're not, here's the thing though. You could have cooked a horrible turkey for Friendsgiving, right? And you still would have had a great time. But the fact that you cooked an amazing turkey,
Yeah.
no one believed you,
No one did.
and you actually sold
My
one of your
mom didn't believe
friends,
me either.
sold one of your friends a RecTech because it was that easy, like, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
I sold them all.
That's
I
impressive.
sold them all to get a RecTech.
All right, so speaking of RecTech, let's go on inside TaylorMade. We've got some incredible stuff going on. Josh is in the way. Don't worry, we're going to go inside. But our Black Friday sale has already started at rectech.com. You can save amazing amounts of value on all the grill bundles and accessories right now at rectech.com. So don't forget, there's no better time to purchase than right now for all of your stocking stuffers, or maybe you're looking for that next gift for that griller in your family. So again, fill your tree, whether it's the griddles, wireless meat probes, Dutch ovens. We've got accessories and fun stuff for all grillers in your family. And don't forget, from all of us here at the RecTech Worldwide Headquarters, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
and we'll see you at the RecTech.
At the RecTech.